Hello and welcome to My Trans Best Friend, a show where me, Lily, your trans best friend, talks about all the stuff that is in my brain and head area, and I put it onto a microphone so that you can in turn listen to that and hear it, etc. Normally on this show, we do just like one-on-one, where it's me talking directly to you and you talking back to me, but I can't hear you because it's a podcast and that's how podcasts work. But today, like last time, we are doing another very special episode with my best friend, Timothy. Timothy, how are you?
I'm really well. How are you? Thank you for having
Oh,
me. I'm happy to
oh,
be back.
so happy. It's always such a, I mean, look, we've been friends for almost 2 decades. So it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. But we've been podcasting a lot lately and I've just been loving it.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to continue on our story today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. And I also want to acknowledge that we're not the only ones here right now in this recording. There are plenty of other folks listening live. We're technically recording it on Zoom, but they are subscribed to the Patreon, the Lily's Lovelies Patreon, calling out Amy, Caitlin, Chelsea, Dawn, Julia, Lauren, Maria, Michelle, and Stella Beth. Y'all, thank you for listening live. And you could be listening live, oh listener, in the future. You could, maybe next time when we record the next episode. The way to do that is to subscribe to the Patreon as well. It starts at $5 a month, and you get all sorts of extra stuff like the Discord, which is this incredible community hub where we're always on talking, hanging out. I do extra streams there. You get extra content there. You have a whole friend group. It's fantastic. Shout out to my elite level sponsors on Patreon. That's Dakota. That's Felicity. That's Caitlin. Shout out to all three of you. Thank you so much. And everyone else who subscribed to Patreon. Without further ado, last time we did this podcast, last week, less than a week ago, Tim and I did a thing that we haven't done before on podcast. We did a pirate adventure. We started a pirate adventure. And my character, Muffy Zest, was existing in this world that Tim has conceived of entirely on his own. This is Tim's world, and I am playing in it. And by virtue of the transitive property, you, a listener, yeah, thank you, you, a listener, are trans by listening to this. Ha 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 ha! I gotcha. That's right. You've been infected. I'm kidding. My friends, we're going to be playing a pirate game, episode 2. We're picking up the story where we were last time. Tim, do you want to summarize what happened last time, or
you're more than welcome to summarize what happened to your own character if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then we can hop right back in where we left off.
Certainly.
So my character, Muffy Zest, who is a bakery shop owner who's very sweet and kind and is tall and has curly hair and, outgoing and confident and has a zest for life. Maybe a little bit careless and not attentive to details in some ways. Started her day by forgetting her anniversary with her girlfriend, who promptly dumped her. She then got shook down by the local pirate group who wanted extra money from her that she did not have. She went to a fight club to try and get some of the money back, but she didn't get quite enough. And to top it all off, a food critic visited her bakery. And while we don't know for sure, it seems like he maybe didn't enjoy his experience as much, even though we gave him a dope-ass muffin from the bake shop that we made.
But it was pretty dope.
What can you do? What can you do? We'll see. So if I recall correctly, we went to bed. Muffy went to bed with 70 out of 80 gold needed. We're 10 short. Not knowing what the food reviewer is going to do or say the next day, and without a girlfriend.
It's true. And in addition, before you went to bed, you did stop by the Seagale Navigation Company, a local navigation / sort of shipping company where Belrem, the lovely, nice, friendly half-orc, your friend and a street sweeper in the town, had alluded to a job that Yak Davish, a lovely, the lovely owner of the Seagale Navigation Company, has a job and has positions open available for work. Unfortunately, when you went, it was nightfall at that point, and the evening had come to a close, and the navigation company was closed at that point. So you decided to go off. Unfortunately, we left it on a very sad note of Muffy pretty defeated as she went back to her flat in the
things
Port
couldn't get
District.
any worse. Possibly, couldn't possibly get worse from here, right?
Yeah, definitely not. No, it's up and up from here for sure.
Up from here.
So
okay.
That's where we start. So we're going to start with Muffy waking up. So Muffy, you wake up, bit of sunshine kind of pouring through your windows.
I reach over to the other side of the queen bed for my girlfriend.
There's no one there. It's cold.
My heart sinks. Oh, my heart sinks. No.
A sad reminder of the events from the day before.
Shit.
And you sort of, get up. There's a bit of breeze kind of blowing the sheer curtains from your windows, and you get up, downtrodden. How are you feeling? How is Muffy feeling at this point in the morning here?
Well, you know how when something bad happens the day before and you wake up, you get that like 5-second grace period before it all kind of like comes back in, and because like your brain is turning back on, so the memories are loading, and then it's just like hits you like, yesterday I had a bad day, and today's probably not going to be the best day either. But I think Muffy is still determined because, she's got this big thing ahead, right? She knows that some goons are coming by to collect on her, and she is short 10 gold, and there is very little to nothing she can do about that. So she is, I think, busy thinking about what she is going to say. Like, she is playing this scene in her head over and over and over again. Like, okay, but if they say that it's not enough, I'm going to plead with them. Should I like just prostrate myself? Should I like play it cool? Should I be like, give me another day? Like, if they say this, maybe I'll I don't know. We'll see. I think
so. You're going over it in your head, certainly, and that takes up the majority of the morning. What do you eat for breakfast? What are you gonna eat for breakfast?
Just like a sad bowl of oatmeal. I think, unfortunately, I ran out of milk, and it is just water and oats, and that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Did you heat it up at least?
I don't think Muffy is that much of an animal that she would eat cold, uncooked oats. She boils a little bit of water in the kettle over the fire first.
Oh my gosh.
And I think, but I will say that there was like half of a cup of coffee, black coffee, that had not been drank. So it's like cold leftover coffee that she's drinking.
So you kind of grit your teeth as you slurp down the bitter coffee, and go ahead and look out the window and roll me a perception check. Let's see what the weather's like outside.
That's a natural 16 plus like one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you look out the window and you see that it's pretty cloudy. There's some light clouds, a bit of an overcast sort of feel to it, but it sort of grays the sky a bit. You're looking out at the water, and the water's it's not like overly choppy, but it's got from where you can see the bay, you've got this actually very, very pretty view of the Crescent Bay that makes up Smuggler's Refuge, the city you're in. And you see that there is like maybe 2 to 3 foot seas out there. It's kind of coming in at a nice light chop. I feel like a meteorologist right now.
You need a green screen behind you.
I know, I do. So badly. But that's really the weather out today. So that kind of course, also gives you this sort of dampened vibe as you're moving your way out of your flat. So where are you gonna go, Muffy? What's the play here? It's about about an hour past sunrise, so it's still pretty early in the morning. Not quite.
Look, I'm
the day yet.
Do I know where these ruffians hang out? Like, do I know where they are?
Roll me a Let's see here. What would that be? Maybe like a history check? I'd say a history check. Roll me a history check.
That is a natural 2.
Ooh, natural 2. You have no idea. You just see them around town a lot.
Gosh darn it. Okay. Well,
You could
Muffy
assume maybe a tavern, but there are lots of taverns in town.
Yeah. Muffy would love right now to just go and confront them, because she just wants to get this conversation over with, but she has really no choice for them to come and confront her. So she's very distracted, so much so that I would almost invite a disadvantage roll on her muffins today. She's just gonna go and kind of go through the motions and try and fail not to think about all of her girlfriend being gone, this impending doom of of being light for the collection, and and also the paper. She's gonna go straight to get to read the paper, which hopefully is waiting at her bakery.
Well, we will certainly have to see.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah. So yeah, you walk out of your flat, and you start making your way down the streets towards Grim Court, which in the last episode we talked about. There was in the Port District. There's a really like center of the Port District, essentially, which is it's like a wheel, and it's got spokes that kind of jut out to the different districts in Smuggler's Refuge. And so you follow that pathway down, and you end up in Grim Court, where you see kind of a busy sort of morning in the court. You've got a couple street vendors. You have the fountain is, doing its fountainy thing. The Temple of Asara
Classic
has
fountain.
a few classic fountain. You have a few
Can I do a perception check to see if this water is been cooked at all before?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. This would be a perception check or a survival check, just to kind of test the temperature of the water here.
Perception would be a 9.
9, yeah. From the distance that you're at, not going up close to it. From the distance that you're at, it looks like pretty normal water. It doesn't look like it's been overcooked at any point recently. It's been actually pretty cool in town recently too. Right. So
I'm just a little sensitive to that, considering my recent overcooking of water. It would
yeah. Of course, you have to be careful of that. It's a dangerous game you play when you're putting water on fire. The one thing you do notice with a 9 is that the Seagale Navigation Company is right there in the corner of one of these spokes of Grim Court.
Yeah.
And it seems that the warehouse doors are open. You did go over on the side of the building where there was like the office building, sort of, which is on a raised foundation. That's where you went and knocked on the door. It seems like their sort of main area, receiving area, let's call it that. But you do notice that it is open. It's not it's not closed up like it was the night before.
I'm peek my head in.
Yeah, certainly. So you walk over there and you peek your head in to the warehouse. Is that what you did? What you want to do? Yeah. So the first warehouse, you look inside, and it is just like wall to wall, like a maze of just these like scaffold shelves. And on them, there are just crates and barrels and boxes and all these different things. And even in the top parts, you see some like glistening little trinkets and little like artifacts. Of course, plenty of rope hanging from the rafters up there. You move to the next one. There's nobody in there. Sorry, there's nobody in there. You move to the next one, and in this one, you see a similar site, but the middle has been cleared out of this warehouse. So it's got the scaffold shelves that line the sides, and those, of course, have all different manners of crates and barrels and supplies on the sides. But in the center is a very large keelboat, just like on some struts. It's like raised off the ground. Looks pretty weathered, looks pretty worn, and its sails are all sort of tied up at the top, and you can kind of, as you peek out the back, you can kind of see that it like sticks out the back a bit of the other side of the warehouse. But there is a keelboat right there. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
17. Out of 20, by the way, for anyone listening. If you haven't listened to one of these before, all of these rolls are out of 20.
Out of 20, correct. You sort of peer your head in there, listening for some sounds of someone working, looking for any sign of someone in there. And it doesn't seem like there's anybody inside like that specific warehouse. There is that third building though. That was the one you went and knocked on the door trying to look for Yak to see if he was in that evening. Of course he wasn't, and so you still have that third building to go see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I'll go check the third building out.
Great. And so you do. The main building of the complex stands pretty tall. It's elevated above the street on a sturdy stone foundation. The building is made of weathered wood and has several windows around its perimeter looking out onto the street. The roof is made of a discolored brown, ceramic shingles. And to enter, there's an inclined ramp that leads to a pair of double doors. And above the doors proudly hangs the sign displaying the navigational company's distinctive logo. And lanterns flank each side of the door, casting a nice warm glow over the entrance. The door is closed, currently.
Knock on it.
No answer.
One more time. Knock, knock, knock. Harder.
Wait a couple more seconds. Still no answer.
And what about the office door? Is this the office door from last time, or is it around this?
This is the same. Yeah, this is like the main entrance door. I'm trying to open it.
Is it? I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll try to open it. Sure.
It pulls.
I'm gonna peek my head in just to kind of see. Hello, is Yak there?
You don't, like, your voice kind of echoes in the room. You look inside, and it's this really nice, like, open sort of lobby area. It's got nice, comfy couches and a couple coffee tables, and then there are these, like, you see these, like, beautiful displays of these, like, artifacts that are kind of, like, put on display. You call out. No, there's nobody in that specific room, and the way you called out just isn't loud enough to get anybody's attention in the other parts.
Do I clock what these? Can I see what these? The artifacts on the wall are? Like, what are those?
Sure. Yeah. So do you walk inside now at this point?
Yeah, I mean, unless the vibe is that of like I'm definitely not supposed to be in here.
No, definitely not. It's a lobby waiting area. It's a reception.
Oh yeah, then of course,
clients,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I step in and I take a look at what's adorning the walls.
Sure. So the first thing you see, it's in this small sort of glass case on a pedestal. There's a little placard, and inside the glass case, there's this beautiful pillow. It's like this rock-looking egg thing. It looks like an egg, but it's just like sitting there on this kind of velvety pillow. You look down in the plaque. You can touch the glass case.
Oh, okay, got it.
You look down to the placard. It says, "A fossilized dragon egg discovered near Crag Coast." So that's the first thing you see.
Dragons. I didn't know there were dragons. That's cool.
A couple of them.
What else?
Yeah, you look over to the side. There's it's on a shelf with a few other sort of books and tomes, but it looks like it's like propped up, and it looks like it's been sort of, cordoned off enough to be a nice decorative piece, essentially, or a decoration in that sense. And it's this this pretty gold, like, idol looking thing that's like it's like gold plated. It's round, and it's got the face of an orc on it, with like the two distinctive teeth, tusks coming up from the mouth. And there is a placard under that as well. And this one, it reads, "This is the fertility idol of the Batu Batu orc tribe on the Teal Chain, used in their famous Walla Walla dance." So that would be that one.
Okay. Feels like a little mini museum in here.
Yeah. Huh. So the last one you see is
I'm going to do the kind of thing where I'm like walking through and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, read it, and kind of like caressing the glass box as I go while looking around. And as I'm looking, I'm like, anyone here? Hello? And then I go to read the next one.
Yeah, you hear like a cough coming from down the hallway past sort of like this large reception desk.
And I'm gonna try to kind of follow that cough. Hello.
Yeah. I'll be 1 second. 1 second. 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right with you.
What's that guy like? What's that guy doing back there?
just overboiling his water.
Really?
The last thing you see is this spear, and it's made of this like orangey sort of coral-looking material with a really sharp tip at the top. And as you're kind of getting closer to this voice, you read that one's a Marin fire coral spear excavated from the ruins of the Marin capital, Akator. Interesting. And a figure walks out from down the hall. Hello. How are you? Hi.
Hi.
How's
Hello.
it going? I am, and he gives a bow. I am Yak Davish.
Yak, you are the person that I was looking for. Hello. I'm going to give him a little curtsy as well, just to kind of return the respect. How are you today? How are you?
I'm fantastic. Yak is, he has white hair in a ponytail. He's got a nice white beard, a maroon sort of officer's coat, brown pants, brown boots, and he like kind of hobbles towards you as he's like ready to shake your hand. Well, it's nice to meet you. How are you today?
I extend my hand and shake it. Yak, I've had better days, but I hear. Well, first, can I just compliment that this is such a nice little area you have. I didn't even know there were dragons.
Oh, plenty of them. I've met a lot myself.
Yeah, I just thought those were kind of a myth, but maybe not, or I guess not. Clearly not. Yeah. Question for you.
Yes.
Look,
yes.
If I'm barking up the wrong tree here, please feel free to let me know. I don't know. Have you been to Muffins and More? I'm down in the other district down the road. I don't know if it doesn't matter if you don't know.
Hornswoggler's Hill. Yes.
Yes, Hornswoggler's Hill. Thank you.
Yes, I've passed by several times.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Yak.
Never been in. I'm sure
you should.
delicious.
Come in and you got a muffin on me. Muffin on me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I own and operate Muffy's Muffins, right? No, Muffins and More. Muffy's Muffins was the other option I was thinking to name it, but it could have been.
Both
Who
great.
knows? Both great. Anyway, so I don't know if you've heard about these guys, the frickin' Coach Bitch. What's her name? Colonel Bitch. Do you know who I'm talking about? What's her name? Captain Bish.
Captain Bish. Yes.
Captain Bish. You know Coach Bitch? Coach Bish?
I don't know any
Captain Bish.
Captain,
Do you know her?
Captain Bish. Oh, Captain. Yes. The name is very familiar. Of the Stormfang Buccaneers.
Stormfang Buccaneers. Yes.
Correct. Yes. I know her. I know not very well, but I know her. Yes. I know her.
Right. So yesterday I was minding my own business, just literally minding my business, my physical business, and she and a bunch of her cronies stomped into my bakery, and they said that I owed them 80 gold. And they said, oh, taxes are going up, blah, blah, blah. And look, I'm just a small business owner. I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I'm just trying to make a living doing what I love. And they're coming in demanding money. And look, I'm an enterprising person. I don't know if you can see, I point to like a little healing bruise across my face where the guy hit me last night in the Fight Club. Yeah. I tried to make this money. I went to the Fight Club. I made a good amount of it, but I'm still short. And I'm not here to ask for money, but you are someone that people have told me has work. And so here I am.
Yes, the job, of course. I've been so rude. Well, let me be the first to welcome you to the Seagale Navigation Company. It's a little business we've got going here. We specialize in expeditions and rare artifact finding, and we're just adventurers ourselves. We really love it. But yes. It seems that you must have gotten word of our job offer that we have out here.
My very good friend Bellrum let me know that
Yes.
you were looking for work. And also the masked man at the Fight Club told me about you.
The commissioner.
The
Yes, I know
commissioner.
the commissioner. I've known the commissioner for many years now.
Oh yeah, he was very nice.
Yes. Yes. Very,
To
very,
be
very
fair, I
nice.
also made him a lot of money. So, but
I'm clearly, and you clearly worked hard for it as well, as I can see that Shriner right there. Yes, well, I do have work. I am looking for someone to help me out on an expedition. It's a pretty simple expedition, at least I hope it's simple. There's a shipwreck off the coast of Smuggler's Refuge here, not too far away, about an hour or so. It was scuttled many years ago, but it resides on a tide pool, and the tide pool, it seems, can be pretty treacherous. But if you go at the right times of the day, it proves to be maybe pretty lucrative. And because the tide pool is so treacherous, not many people go out to this shipwreck to plunder it. But it seems that there's a good bit of treasure on it. So perhaps a spot where maybe we could find that extra gold that you're looking for.
do you think I can make it there and back by like this late this afternoon?
Late this afternoon. Yes, well, that might be tough, but I think we could probably do it. I'll be going with you, by the way. It'll be you and me. We'll go
perfect.
together. Yes,
Yak,
yes, of course.
I love it. You read? I mean, you want to go? Let's go. I'm down.
Yes, of course.
I don't know if I have the joy in me right now to make a muffin, but hell, do I have the strength and grit right now to plunder a treasure.
Oh, I like that. I like to hear that. Very good, very good. Yes. Well, let's, if you don't mind, if we could quickly discuss logistics and then
Sure.
move on from there. Yes. What were you thinking in terms of? There's a good amount of treasure. What were you think? What did you need in terms of gold?
Well, I don't want to say an exact number because I don't know if it's going to be more or less. But look, at the end of the day, I'm fine with calling this more of a trial run. And you and I just need 10 golds. That's it.
Okay.
I would
All right,
love
listen.
more, but
Listen. I have been in Smuggler's Refuge for some time. Love it. It's my home. It's been my home for many, many years, even though I've traveled all over this world. I see that you're struggling. I see that's you've confided in me, and I appreciate the honesty. That's a very, very genuine. You're a very genuine person. So, listen, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. Let's say we get out to that shipwreck. Anything that you can haul is yours. Anything that I can haul is mine. Once we get back to the ship, we can take a look at what we got. And let's say maybe split it down the center if perhaps you get more than me or I get more than you.
works for
What's that
me.
sound?
Works for
50-50?
me. Sounds good.
All right. Fair enough. Well, I appreciate the services. I appreciate the help. So I'd be happy to offer you a 50-50 split.
That's very generous of you, Yak. Thank you.
Yep, you got it. Absolutely. And if there's something special that you haul, of course. If you have your eye keen on something. Look, I'm just looking to get some extra gold myself. So
I hear you, Yak. Between you and me, the thing that is most special to me is my bakery. And also my girlfriend, but I lost her yesterday. Not to bring the mood down. I did forget our anniversary. I forgot.
Oh my.
Don't you hate that? Isn't that the worst?
I've forgotten many an anniversary in my day. But I don't
I was
live
just
to
like-
meet those people anymore.
You get it. You get it. And look, I was just so hyper focused on this food critic coming to visit, and it's like one track mind. Like it just kicked out everything else for the day, and I just. Anyways,
Well, it sounds like you're having a rough go. Let's
go get this goal.
change our
Let's go
fortunes,
get
shall we?
yes, please.
Well, now, one second. Asa, he calls down to the hallway, and a younger woman sort of walks out. She's dressed in a white linen blouse, fitted moss-colored trousers. She's wearing a brown leather apron, and she's got these circular goggles resting on the crown of her head. Her brown hair is tied loosely in a bun, and she has, as she approaches closer, you see she's got, freckles across her nose.
Can I roll for queer vibes?
Sure, of course you can roll for queer vibes. What is the roll for queer vibes? What is that? Insight.
Probably an insight, right? Yeah.
Right, that would be an insight check.
13.
You don't know for sure, but she's not, if that makes sense.
Got
That's
it.
the best
Got
way
it.
I can describe it with a 13.
Okay.
Yeah, Yak. Asa, Muffy, I'd like you to meet my assistant. This is Azariah El Bella, one of the finest minds in Smuggler's Refuge, and one of the finest mechanics, if I do say so myself.
Azariah?
Yeah, Azariah.
Azariah. I extend my. Well, I'm not gonna be creepy here. I'm just gonna give her one of.
Hey,
pleasure.
Welcome to the team. She says to you.
Thank you. Hello.
Are
Great to
you
meet
here
you.
for the job? You're here for Yak's job?
Yeah. I'm here for the yacht job. We're going out to do some plundering. You know, I'm a plunderer, so figured.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need the sardine, right? Yeah. Yes, we'll be needing the sardine. Okay, yeah.
Sardine?
Give me.
I'm really not
The
into
sardine?
seafood, honestly. Like I don't know if that's.
No, it's not. No, it's not seafood. It's my keel boat.
Well, no.
I
This.
have
Okay. I was
I have a
about to
beautiful
say.
keel boat. I've been using it for decades upon decades. It's fantastic.
Is it the one? It's not the one in the warehouse.
Yes, the very same. Yeah. We've been. Oof, wow, that boat has seen a lot. But
Yeah.
I do a pretty good job of fixing it up. I keep it up to date and stuff like that. So I'm a bit of a mechanic.
That hunk of junk?
I mean, it's not quite a
I'm
hunk of
sorry.
junk.
I didn't mean it. It just slipped out. I apologize.
Listen. Azariah is one of the finest tinkerers, mechanics, biologists, anthropologists, archaeologists in all of Smuggler's Refuge. One of the finest minds I've ever met.
My eyes are widening. That's like the smart, cute girl. It's yes.
I am beyond honored to have her as my partner in the Sea Gale Navigation Company. She's one of the best business partners I've ever had.
You're partnered with her?
Business partners.
Right.
Business
Yeah.
partners.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
Business partners.
That makes sense.
clarifies.
That makes sense.
Look, I know my way around a boat. I've fixed up a lot of boats, so I don't think you'll have any problems with the sardine. That thing is pretty tough. I'll say we've been to some places, Yak, places, yeah, and it's survived some pretty rough stuff. So I think we'll be all right. I'm pretty good with
Yep.
my hands, so.
Sorry. Muffy, sorry, I just had a little stuck. Sardines, seafood. Yes, Yak
Yeah,
job. Yak jobs.
She looks at Yak and she says, "Yeah, look, I'll have it ready in an hour. I just got to get the winch going. So I'm gonna go do that. Hey, Muffy, thank you so much for helping Yak. Really appreciate it. Good luck."
Yak on.
She just kind of looks at you awkwardly and is like, she pulls Yak to the side, and you kind of hear her in a hushed voice as she pulls. She goes, "Look, Yak, are you okay to go? I mean, you don't have to. I can always go. It's really okay. I don't mind." He said, "Don't worry one bit about it. I'll be fine. All right. And so she goes off and follows down the corridor hallway, and then takes the L at the end of it and starts working on the winch or whatever she talked about there. Well, it seems like we have an hour. Is there anything you need, perhaps? Anything? Any supplies you'd like to maybe get, or I can maybe we have them in the warehouse.
Do I have my baking pins on me?
You do have your baking pins on you. You never
Okay.
go without them.
Yeah. How close are we to a store, or any store?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a shop called Beach Bazaar, which you are very familiar with living in the port yourself. There's a beach bazaar over in the actual port area.
Let's hit up Beach Bazaar. See what's up.
You got it. Okay. So, all right. Well, good luck. Don't let the the owners give you too hard of a time. But
Oh, don't worry. I know these. I know these owners. I got it. I'll be back
just
in under an hour. Okay.
yes, just meet me back in fact, you can just meet me over in the port. The sardine will be ready on the docks within.
Perfect. Sounds good. See you there.
Yeah. So you head out of the Seagale Navigation Company. You head down the ramp, and you start walking what is south, down a natural stone staircase into the actual port. And the actual port is like a big crescent shape that follows the bay, which is also a crescent shaped bay. But the port kind of parallels that, and it's got this main thoroughfare with with buildings flanking the sides of that main thoroughfare, and all the buildings are of that sort of same smuggler's refuge architecture, wooden, stone. They've got terracotta roofs. It's a mix of red and yellow and blue. It's like weathered, but it's it's distinctive of a port town. And beyond there's the first line of buildings, the thoroughfare, the second line of buildings, and then there's the boardwalk of the port with all of these docks that are sort of like spreading out and jutting out into this crescent-shaped bay with a bunch of different big boats, small boats, rowboats, all manner of boats that are like in the port that morning. As you walk down that stone staircase, you head to that main thoroughfare, you hang a left, and you see the weathered exterior of a building constructed from pink stone and topped with a vibrant blue terracotta roof. The shop exudes a playful charm that sets the tone for what lies within. Large windows adorned with whimsical displays offer glimpses of the treasures housed inside. The doors, creatively decorated, allow merchandise to spill out like bountiful bunches of bananas, enticing passersby to explore further in. A cloth canopy hangs over the graceful entrance and provides shade and the shelter from the sun's rays, while a sign on that specific cloth canopy proclaims Beach Bazaar in bold, welcoming letters. And then, of course, flanking the entrance, two small palm trees sway gently in the balmy breeze, adding a touch to the tropical allure of the facade. Inside, coming through the door, you can hear this melodious sound of like tropical tunes that are resonating from inside the shop, creating this sort of beach-like paradise.
I'm gonna walk in. I'm just gonna kind of stroll in and say hello.
So as you walk in, the one thing you notice is that the aisles and walls are just adorned with just like shit tons of merchandise. It's like all over the walls, all over. Like,
is it like
Siesta Key Beach Bazaar vibes?
Okay, like welcome to the beach.
Absolutely.
Fridge magnets.
The first thing you see is this like little figurine of just like this like playful shark that's like got like "Welcome to Smuggler's Refuge" on it.
Yeah.
Or like there's this dog that's like pulling on the underpants of like a really like big dude, and it's like lost my pants at Smuggler's Refuge. Like,
do they have any like greeting cards with scantily clad women on them?
Absolutely. Okay. There are like seashell amulets and like sand powder trinkets and just all these. There's trendy swimsuits, stylish sunglasses, vibrant beach towels, like all sorts of tchotchke all over the walls, knickknacks, trinkets, whatnot.
Wow. Well, this is probably not of interest, but I'm gonna find. Is there a shopkeep around that I could?
It's really, there's so much merchandise you can't really see, so I'm gonna have you roll a perception check, and then also if there's something that you're like looking for specifically, you can just ask them.
Yeah. So I guess in my head I'm thinking, well, as cozily charming as this shop is, I'm about to go and kind of plunder a ship, and apparently the tides are tough in this, so I don't know if like a pair of flippers could be helpful, or I don't know if anything that would help in that kind of endeavor is mostly what I'm looking for. Even like a pair of goggles maybe,
Sure.
Ideally in the color pink. So I'm going to roll for perception here. That is a 13.
Yeah, so you kind of see somebody like moving some merchandise around in the back. They kind of peer out. They hear you walk in, and they kind of peer out. They're like, "You're not stealing anything, are you?"
Oh, no. In fact, I'm actually here to buy things.
Oh.
You know me. It's Muffy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, Muffy. Yeah, Muffy. How's it going, Muffy?
Hi.
Hey, it's Navi.
Hi.
I'm Navi. Nice to see
Navi. What's up, Navi?
How you been? I haven't seen you. I don't think I've ever seen you.
It's okay, Navi. We've met like 20 to 30 times before, but you're good. I know.
Cool. Yeah.
Hey.
What can I get for you? What are you looking for?
So I don't know. Do you have anything that might help me? So I'm actually going out on the seas real quick, try and do some plundering. Do you have anything that could help with like an adventurer looking to plunder a ship and maybe navigate some strong tides?
Oh yeah, those nice surfboard and some sweet waves, right? That's what
Yes, Navi.
But
yes.
no, seriously, that's probably not. Your tides, like a tide pool kind of deal. Like what?
So Muffy need to swim good and be strong in ocean.
Okay.
Do you have like flippers or goggles or like floaties?
Yeah, lots of them.
Okay.
Yeah, God, like all of them. Yeah, some floaties. Let's see.
Health potions even? Do you have something just in case?
Yeah, I got all of those things for sure. Okay, all right. So there's some. So he takes you over to these to like this like wall.
God, this guy is always. If I know Navi, this interactions happen so many times.
Probably. So there's a wall of like these. Yeah, they're kind of like arm floaties. They're like these like rubber pieces, but they're like flat. You know, they're not inflated yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to be. He kind of points to them, and he's talking about floaties and how they're great for floating. He also points to some goggles. There are clearly some goggles that are right next to that. He certainly takes time to make sure that he mentions that there's a beautiful array of surfboards on the one wall, and then he also specifically talks about how. Well, if you're going out to the tide pools, I mean, I'd like check out these like ropes I got. Like I got the ropes, bro. Not bro. Sorry, you're not a bro. But like, you know what I mean? I got ropes like here, so check it out. And then I've got some ropes. Health potions, you said? Health potions.
So okay, yeah, a health potion would be good. But real quick, back to the surfboard. Do you think a surfboard would be helpful in navigating plundering? I don't know. You just like surfing a lot, so you wanted to show me the surfboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. They're very cool looking. Very good.
They're cool, right? I know. I mean, like, all I'm saying is, like, if you got waves, like, hit the waves, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Totally, dude.
Waves, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, ropes. Yeah, you know what? The rope sounds like it might be helpful, just in case. That would probably be helpful. So let's get a rope.
Rope's good for everything, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know, me and my girlfriend. Wait, me and my ex-girlfriend would use. I don't even know why I'm telling. Why am I telling you this? It's okay. You're not going to remember this.
That's cool. It's cool. You're into some things. I mean, that's.
But it's not that kind of rope. It was more like the nylon. Like it's much softer. That's kind of like big.
Oh yeah.
Thick ropes.
Yeah. What's a nylon?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, I know. All right. Yes. Yeah. Rope. All right.
Rope
so
and a health potion. Yeah.
Potion. Yeah, I gotta dig for that. I haven't seen one of those in like years. So
yeah, I get that.
Back.
And also, do you have any pink? Do you have any pink floaties? Because I definitely want those as well.
Oh yeah, floaties right here, goggles right here. Take them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take hot pink versions of both of those.
All right, you got hot pink versions. You got of goggles. Let's write this down. Let's make our shopping list. All right, so you got goggles.
Mm-hmm.
You got floaties.
Mm-hmm.
Rope.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other one? It was health potion. Oh yeah, I gotta go check that out. So he like heads to the back. You hear like things crashing in the back, like things like, oh, like,
You okay back there, Navi?
Yeah.
You sure? I can come back and help.
Here you go. I think this is what you're looking for. Puts out this like flask.
Okay.
That's like leather bound.
That's the health potion?
Yeah. I mean, yep. I think so.
Can I like look? Can I kind of like crack it open and look inside?
Go for it. Roll an investigation check.
That's a 6.
From everything you know about health potions, seems
probably
like
not that much. All right, great. Thanks, Navi. How much is this gonna run me?
Yeah. So it like this actually takes him like a good 15 minutes to like calculate this.
I think I have an hour.
15 minutes. So, I would say for the rope, it's like a gold goggles. Like I'll do that for like 5 silver. So like let's just say like. So like 25 gold. Is that cool?
Navi.
What?
For 25 gold? How much is a health potion?
Well, like a health potion's like I don't know, like a lot. So
right.
I think 25 is a steal for the health potion, honestly.
Can I? Okay.
What? What?
All I'm saying is that I don't have that money to give you right now. Can I?
What?
I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. I would gladly.
Okay.
Here. Can I pay you? Okay. How about this? Navi? I need to tell you something. I am right now going out to plunder a ship. I get half of whatever we find. If you let me take this for 5 gold total, I will come back and give you an additional 25 for 30 total gold. And you know where I work. I work at Muffins and More. You've been in many times. We've spoken before.
Your muffins are like the best. All right.
I'll even make special muffins for you.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oof, that's not good. That's probably a skills persuasion is 8.
8
out of 20.
All right. Listen, like I get it. You're a business owner. I'm a business owner. Look, I'm trying to pay these Stormfang Buccaneers. They're up my butt all the time.
You too? They've been harassing me nonstop. That's why I need the money, because I owe them. I owe them 80 gold by the end of the day. That's why I can't give you any money. Okay, look. I get it. I respect it, Navi. How about this? Let me just take the rope and the goggles, and I'll leave the health potion for now. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's like what? The rope and the goggles?
You said it was a gold, like 1 gold, 5 silver kind of thing?
1 gold, 5 silver. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, let's do that. I'm not trying to disrespect you in your business, Navi. I'm trying to do the exact same thing.
I'm not trying to put you out. I'm not trying to put you out either. That's like the last thing I want. I'm so sorry. But,
good vibes. Good vibes
good
between us.
Beach vibes.
Beach vibes. Cheeseburger in paradise, etc., etc. Tuesdays and paying for things. It happens.
I love it. Yeah,
I love you.
That's fine.
Man.
That's fine. 1 and 5. You got
it?
Okay,
1 and 5. Okay, yeah. Let me adjust that on my sheet.
Yeah, so mark that off on your character sheet. So 1 and 5, you walk away with goggles. And you walk away with some rope.
I now have 69 gold. For the record, 69.
Hey!
All right, I firmly affix the floaties onto my arms, and I blow them up. Whoa, that's a whistle. And I put the goggles kind of on my forehead, and I walk on over to the keeled port ship to meet up with Yak.
Yep, absolutely. So you find it's an hour passes, And you see, when you walk out, you actually are seeing the end of this. It's this like contraption with like these 4 large sort of pillars that have wheels on the bottom, and they are holding the keel boat, the sardine, like between the 4 pillars, and it is rolling and like finally coming to a rest into the water, lowered into the water. And you see Aza is kind of like controlling it. She's got kind of like a wand, and she's like controlling it as it's like lowering it into the water. And Yak is watching just proudly, you know, as this boat kind of lowers itself in. And then you see her sort of flick her wand. The boat nestles in the water finally, and then slowly but surely that contraption, which you now know is the winch, sort of like makes its way back towards the way that it was, the way that it came towards the Sea Gale Navigation Company.
I say, wow, you're really good at that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've worked really hard, you know. I mean, I've studied arcane stuff for quite some time, so
shows.
Just, you know, what I do. Thanks, appreciate it. Hey, good luck out there.
Thank you. I ready for the journey, and I kind of note my floaties.
She's like, nice floaties. All right. Oh, wait. And she notices real quick the goggles. She's like, I like the goggles. Nice touch.
Thank you.
Goes back to her work. Well, hello. Yes, you made it. Very good.
I'm ready.
Prepared. Yes, you are. Fantastic.
You know, you always be prepared. I also got some rope. I don't know if you needed any, but just in case.
I have a good amount, but yes, rope is important. It's always good to have your own rope as well. So very good. Good preparation. I see this is going to work out between the two of us very well. So you get on the boat with Yak, the sardine. It's like this pretty sturdy keel boat. It's definitely seen some wear and tear, but it seems pretty thick with 2 C's. It's a nice boat. You cast off with Yak. Yak is sort of like pushing these like big poles into the water. He's like pushing this big pole, like almost like a gondolier, getting out of the port. That's how you get out of the port. So you like make.
I hum under my breath.
He's like as he's getting you out there, and then finally once you make it like out of the docks area and you kind of hit that sort of crescent bay, you're sort of away from the port now. He flicks a rope line and the sails sort of whip open and the wind billows them and pushes the sardine with a jerk, you know, as it sort of takes with the wind.
Can I take stock of this ship? Like, is it like surprisingly working pretty well, or is my hunk of junk assessment still valid? Is this like Millennium Falcon status?
Let's roll an investigation check as you're kind of like walking your way around this keel boat here.
Investigation would be, it's a natural 8 plus like 1 or 2 probably.
Yeah.
No,
so
11.
Like, 11, yeah. So as you're walking around, you see that it's like been some of the wood, like you press into the wood and like the railing is kind of like a bit soft in the wood, you know, but you like kind of like look down on the outside of the boat and like that, the thickness of the hull, like you kind of assess that and you see that that's pretty thick. And even like those big gouge marks that are on the side are like, they're not getting anywhere close to the inside of that hull. The ship moves very smoothly in the water, surprisingly, for like an old ship. It's like really gliding through the water very well. And the rope system that Yak is sort of like one hand on the helm, one hand on some ropes, kind of guiding the sails, is like very, very well done. You know, it's very, very, very efficient in kind of how he's doing that, and he's handling it very, very well. So yeah, in just that initial assessment, you see that like not so much a hunk. It looks like a hunk of junk, but it is a pretty sturdy hunk of junk that sails well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I go up to Yak. I say, "Hey, sorry, I called this a hunk of junk. It's pretty nice.
Ship here." I get that all the time. Don't even worry about it. It's quite all right. So, wait, you know, I was curious about something. I wanted to talk to you, and so this is the conversation as you're kind of making your way towards the ship.
Towards the ship or the shipwreck?
Excuse me, the shipwreck.
Okay, okay.
To the location of the shipwreck, which Yak knows, but you don't quite know. But
okay.
You mentioned your troubles with the Stormfang Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Captain Bish specifically.
Yeah.
I've unfortunately also been running into some trouble with the Stormfang Buccaneers.
Okay.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone in Smuggler's Refuge who hasn't.
Right.
It seems that things have changed in town. Ever since their leader took over. Not Captain Bish, another higher up within the chain.
Do you know their name?
Yes. It's High Commander Sigil Black. That is the name of the head of the Stormfang Buccaneers.
Okay.
Ever since he took over, it seems that they've been growing their authority around town. It's quite distressing, in fact. And asking for more tribute, harassing locals on the street. Something that's not very common for this pirate faction.
In my own history, did they used to be like more cool before this guy came around?
Roll me a history check.
Natural 7 plus history of 1, 8.
Roll me again because you've been living in Smuggler's Refuge. So roll with advantage. Sorry.
That was the first one was better.
Oh, okay, great.
How about this?
I mean, like, enough.
I can ask
lived
him.
there enough.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I haven't really noticed them much. I don't know much about, like, were they better? Is this
much better.
Yeah? What happened?
Yes,
did he make it bad?
Well, let me give you quick information. So the Stormfang Buccaneers are part of a larger group. They're called the Fire Court. So the Stormfang Buccaneers are one of 6 factions of the Fire Court.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Fire Court, they all the 6 factions, essentially govern themselves under what are called the Articles of Grimm. It's like a pirate code, so to speak. And one of the main tenets of this pirate code is sovereignty. It's this idea of self-determination and being able to run your own government and run your own cities. Now, of course, this Smuggler's Refuge is sort of the capital of the Fire Court, and the Stormfang Buccaneers have always been in charge of it, let's say. Even though it's sort of the capital of the grander organization, the one faction, the Stormfang Buccaneers, have always been in charge, but they've always been somewhat benevolent, and, of course, they take care of our infrastructure, they take care of our security, so a fair tax and tribute is welcomed by many of the residents, but an increased one, that seems to infringe upon the rights of our sovereignty, and treating our citizens the way that they're doing is against the very code itself, I see, it seems.
It seems less about, like, it seems more like they are getting greedy than anything, because they came up and just, like, announced a new tax, and they kind of suggested that they were going to harm me or take my bakery away if I didn't pay up within 1 day. I'm not made of money.
It's ridiculous. I've run into similar things. I've had them come in before asking for different tributes and things like that. In fact, I'll be honest with you, the very reason we're on this expedition is really to find our own way of paying them.
We got to do something. Someone's got to do something about the Buccaneers. But question: did you notice that things got changed for the worse when this current leader stepped in, or was there a catalyst? Like, why did this happen?
Well, I'll be honest that the other 5 factions of the Fire Court used to be regulars in the city. They used to come visit. They used to come have congresses or councils together. But I haven't seen them in many, many years.
Years.
It's left the city. Left it to the Stormfang Buccaneers. It's always been the Buccaneers' territory, of course.
Right.
But they've always welcomed the other factions and come together to discuss matters that concern the Fire Court. But unfortunately, they've kind of gone missing over the past few years. They're just absent, not missing by any stretch of the imagination, but absent, back to their own territories where they live. And it seems that once that happened, and then the High Commander Sigil Black was put into his position, things did take a turn for the worse in the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I don't pay attention to politics at all. So really, this is kind of the first I'm hearing of this new tax, and now, of course, I care about it. But this is helpful info. So, I guess my question is like, what can be done? Because, I mean, look, I still have my bakery, but I mean, if they take that from me, I don't know what I'll do.
So Yak looks around as if he's looking for Stormfang Buccaneers listening to your conversation, even though it's just the two of you on a boat. Muffy, I'll be honest, these are some deeper conversations that we're having here. But I will tell you that it has been a major concern of mine that the Stormfang Buccaneers have started abusing their authority, let's put it that way. And, well, I'm still thinking about what could be done, but I do think that there are answers out there. The unfortunate thing is that there are so many Stormfang Buccaneers, and there's so little of us. It seems like in order to counteract them, or to undermine their authority, so to speak, we'd want to amass our own sort of movement of people that would undermine their authority in that way.
You're saying we need to put together a team?
Not just a team. Pretty hefty group.
What would you say? Do we need 11 people, maybe?
He laughs a bit. Stormfang Buccaneers are a fleet. An army, almost, it feels. They've got ships all around Carib at this point, but what we need is for the other pirate factions that are in town, the independent ones, the ones that aren't associated with the Fire Court, the ones that find refuge in Smuggler's Refuge, to come together, set aside their differences, and come together to fight a common enemy, so to speak.
I see.
So if we hypothetically, of course, we're talking about that, we would want to be getting in contact with those other pirate factions that are not associated with the Fire Court, separate from them, smaller ones.
Well, it's an interesting idea, but it's all hypothetical, right?
Clearly, yes. Of course.
We're just having a hypothetical conversation because I'm going to go back to my bakery and hopefully not have to worry about this once I give them the 80 gold.
Correct. Shouldn't be a problem then, right?
And you're going to have free muffins when you come in, and it's going to be a jolly good time. And maybe the Stormfang Buccaneers will get their new tax, we'll all settle in, and everything will just be peachy.
Yes, it won't be a problem anymore until they come back. And he winks at you.
Are we close to the storm wreck? Or the shipwreck?
Ah! So,
what good timing.
You approach a large sort of cliff face, waves crashing upon its rocky shores. The cliffs, they slope lower. They slope into a sort of a lower raised area. That's much closer to the water where the waves have calmed a bit. And in the lower parts of the cliff face, you see an opening, sort of this jagged gash, grotto, as if a sword has sort of cut, a large sword has cut through this cliff. There, Yak says as he points to the opening in the rocks. The silent fortune is in there.
Let's hit it. I top off my floaties with air, and I put my goggles on. I'm ready.
Just so we know, just so you have some information, the Silent Fortune used to be a treasure ship of the Fire Court. Now, it is in a tide pool. Luckily, we've come at a time when the tides are low. Yes, we'll be going and trying to get as much as we can before the tides rise. Now, they do rise very quickly, so time is of the essence here, Muffy. So let's just be quick about it, all right?
That's why they call me quick Muffy.
Oh, I didn't know they called you that. Well, I'll
Honestly,
start calling you... All right, quick Muffy, here we go. Does that work?
Yeah. Okay, I was just trying to be cool. They don't actually call me Quick Muffy. I've never done this before, and I'm feeling a little bit small, and I'm just trying to kind of overcompensate with confidence. So they don't actually. If you really want to call me Quick Muffy, you can, but
He reaches out as if he's gonna give you like a sort of a hug, but he's like, "Is this okay? Do you mind?"
Yeah, you can give me a hug. You can give me a hug.
Grabs you by the shoulders and says, kind of shaking you a little bit, "You're gonna do great."
Thanks, Yog.
He loads sort of this, with your help, a small rowboat over the side of the sardine. Kind of drops in the water. He lowers this like rope ladder, and you climb over the side and start climbing down.
I climb on down, yeah.
All right, here we go. He starts rowing, and you get, it's pretty wavy. But as you grow closer to this like lower part of the slope, you do see this jagged opening. You're able to he's able to kind of get the rowboat to this like little like rock ledge. He takes a tie. He gets out as he's kind of like 1 foot in the boat, straddling the side of the boat. 1 foot on the rock ledge, and he takes a rope and he kind of ties it to one of a piece of rock that's sort of kind of out of the wall. All right, and in front of you, you do see that like jagged now cliff area, and you see up, and it's this pretty steep climb up to an upper part of like where this tide pool is. So a lot of rocks that you can kind of climb up and get up to, but it's pretty steep there.
All right, I'm ready to climb.
All right, so go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
I have a +2 to athletics. That's a 19 out of 20, which is good.
19 out of 20, very good. So you are like you scale it first. You're starting to scale it, and Yak is slowly coming. He's coming up behind you, but you see that Yak actually starts to slip a bit on some of the rocks as he's going up. What do you do?
I'm gonna reach back down and extend him my hand, or even maybe try to grab his.
All right, so he's gonna roll again. Okay, this time your roll's much better. So he grabs your hand with help.
Got you.
That was quick Muffy nonetheless. And you sort of pull Yak up as you finish walking up to this cliff face. And when you climb up, finally get to the top, you see this beautiful, beautiful warship just sitting in this gorgeous tide pool with and when I say tide pool, it's like they're like rocks sticking out of like puddles of water. It's kind of like half watery, half rocks out, but all very shallow, puddles. It's not like deep at all. There are like, you can see like bits of colorful coral that are hanging off some of these rocks, and just beautiful like watery plants that have kind of folded over, and a couple, you see a couple small little critters kind of make their way into the puddles. And then of course you see this big warship that's been completely weathered by the water. I mean, it is just like caked with algae and mold, and the wood is sort of like crumpled in spots, and it's definitely been in the water for quite some time. It is the ruins of a ship. It is a shipwreck for sure.
Okay. I look at Yak. Are we just go? Are we going for it? Just looking around?
Follow me. So
Okay.
he leads you, and he's kind of like, you see him like tipping over, or like tiptoeing over the rocks and trying to kind of avoid the puddles, trying to just not get his boots wet.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're looking at the ship face on, like you're looking at the front of the ship, and then as you kind of go around the side of the ship, you notice that one of the sides has been like there's a giant hole in the side of the ship that like leads to the interior of the ship, and it's just this like giant wreckage, as if something like punched through it.
What does it look like? Like what? Yuck! What do you think did that?
Oh, something bigger than us, I'm sure. Probably some rocks, I'm sure. It's fine. No big deal.
Yeah,
Um,
probably.
um, so the entrance to this ship is called the Silent Fortune, which you see in sort of these crusted letters on the side that have been washed away. As you approach this sort of entrance, you're greeted by a haunting sight. The shipwreck stands partially submerged in the treacherous tide pool, its side torn open where it collided with some unforgiving rocks. The dark, dripping interior beckons with an ominous allure. At the meeting point of the tidal pool and the ship's hull, a macabre display of bones and skeletons lies strewn. Remnants of just bodies that met their demise in that area.
How long
above,
have the bodies been here?
Go ahead and go if you'd like to go up to one. You can roll a medicine check and see.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of poke it with my boot. I have a -1 to medicine. That's a 12. Just gonna kind of lightly kick it.
It's fleshy. It's fleshy.
I didn't know that.
So,
Yak, you didn't tell me there were gonna be dead bodies on this ship. I thought that everyone had escaped and like swum away.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty treacherous tide pool. I'm sorry, and of course, people have tried to come here in the past and plunder the ship, and so this might be them. I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. Let's just get the stuff and get out of here. We got to move quickly, anyways.
Yes. One thing you did notice too is as you're sort of like walking towards that entrance, the ship's railing above the entrance has a chilling collection of several skulls, just kind of like placed.
It's a collection, like they were there placed purposely on the ship before it wrecked.
Roll an investigate. You can climb up there and roll an investigation check, or roll like a perception check.
I'm gonna just roll a perception check. This is casual. That's a natural 3.
Yeah, you just see them lined up in a row. You can't tell if they're like glued to the mast or if they just like have been chilling there. Like, but they are like skulls in a row.
Yak, I don't like this. Where is the treasure? Let's get it and get out as quickly as possible. Quick Muffy is all ready to leave.
I am there. Absolutely. Let's go. So you sort of slowly step inside the cargo hold. That's that sort of, entrance. That's what it leads to. And as you do, sort of this chilling atmosphere surrounds you. It's very dark. It's dripping. It serves, the algae clings to every surface, giving the hold of an eerie green hue. The floor has a large puddle of water reflecting some dim light that manages to penetrate through the darkness. And with puddles, bones and skeletons lay scattered. A decrepit staircase to the left of you leads to an elevated section of the hold, where remnants of the ship's former glory are strewn about, barrels, ropes, all sorts of supplies. The wood is rotted and saturated. You also notice in one corner of this like hold area, there is this like repulsive pile of like half-eaten fish with just like bone, like half bone, half fish. Just like it looks like kind of like just like a place where someone like threw trash, just of gross dead fish together. And you also see that there's a chest there as well.
Oh,
close by the fish.
I'm walking to the chest and I am opening it carefully.
Okay. Yes. So, how would you like to open it carefully? So the metal lock is pretty rusted.
Oh, I'm gonna take my baking pin and kind of try and lodge it and then pry open pry it open with my baking pin.
For the sake, even though you're not attacking it, go ahead and roll for an attack.
Sure.
Just to kind of pry it open, break it open.
Oh, that's a natural 2 plus 5, 7.
7. Okay, yeah, it doesn't budge.
Yak, do you want to give this a shot?
Muffy, I think it's better if we keep going. Let's just leave that one there. I'm sure there's more treasure on.
You sure?
Yes. Trust me.
Okay. All right. I follow his lead.
So you start going up the staircase, and you ascend the decrepit stairwell to an elevated deck of this treasure hold. And of course, again, you're greeted by another haunting sight. Wood beneath your feet is broken and rotted, and it's emitting this unsettling creaking sound as you kind of like step over it. And then strewn across this deck, this like raised deck, again, more skeletal remains are just like decaying. And there are two weathered stairwells, and as you look down over the railing on the two stairwells that lead to the back of the boat, this is like the end of the cargo hold in the back of the boat, you do see that there are 3 chests, and their contents, they're actually 3 chests sitting sort of beautifully.
Yak, that looks like us. Let's get it.
I think that's us. Let's get it. Yes, let's go.
Are they locked?
So go ahead. They're rusted shut, it looks like. Yak goes and like takes his sword, the back of his like long sword, and just kind of like hits one of them. So I'm gonna roll for an attack with Yak. Okay, and it breaks open. Actually, here I should be rolling damage there. Yeah, it breaks open. And inside, it's like there's just piles of gold. There's like rotted wet papers. There's like some velvet sacks. He's like, this is definitely us. And he starts to kind of like pile the gold into his jacket.
Cool. Yeah. I do the same thing to a different one. I kind of try and take my baking pin and just whack it to undo the rusting.
Yeah. Go ahead and whack it with an attack.
That's an unnatural 21.
Ooh, very nice. Go ahead and roll damage on it.
5.
Okay. So you break it, and it goes, like, as you open it, it like makes this really, really obnoxiously loud creaking sound, like, as it opens. But inside, it contains so for you, it contains 50 gold pieces that are kind of like strewn about in there. So you can kind of like put those into your bag or wherever. And then there are 2 unique little trinkets. That you can figure out what they are in a second. What do we got? So the first one is, it is a insignia, a rank insignia, so like a kind of like a seal of the Fire Court, which is like a blazing sun. So you notice that. That's the first thing that you see. Okay. And then the second thing that you get out of that is, where are we? You're going to love this. An empty silver snuff box bearing the inscription on the surface that says, "Dreams."
Oh, boy.
So I know that I'm going to pause for a second.
Yeah.
Out of game here. I know we're getting to the end of that hour and a half that we said, which is kind of perfect. But okay. I just wanted to make sure that's where we're stopping, correct?
Yeah. I'll leave it to you. You know better than I.
This is a perfect place for that, so I'll just say that.
Okay, perfect.
As you open that second chest.
As in the third one, because Yak opened one, I opened one, and this is the third?
No. We're going to stick with just the chest you opened so far.
Got it.
Or just the 2 that you opened so far. That obnoxious creaking noise resonates throughout this sort of cargo hold.
Good thing this ship isn't haunted or anything, or contains anyone that could be alerted to our presence, huh, Yak?
As you are sitting there stuffing your pockets with gold, you hear a skittering. Stops.
Yak, you hear that?
He sort of like looks at you, more skittering, terror now, sort of kind of getting in his eyes.
I unsheathe my other baking pin and wield them.
And as you turn around, you see crawling towards you on the ceiling this figure with dark, oily, slick black hair hanging down from the ceiling, skin stretched, pale, ghostly white, and they are just like skittering on the ceiling at you, like And that is where we will leave off for the evening.
It's the girl from the ring. She's found her way into this campaign. Yak, I knew we shouldn't have watched that video, Yak.
Yeah, right? He looks at you and he just goes, shit. And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
Good. That was great. Oh, that was a great session, Tim. Well done.
Thank you.
And now we have enough money for the fire court, or for the Stormfang Buccaneers, so everything will go back to normal as soon as we get back, I'm sure.
I'm sure. And then campaign over. We're done. That's
campaign
it.
over.
That's
yeah,
it.
we'll
That's
whack
it.
this
No
we'll
more.
whack this thing in the head and then sail back, and bing bang boom, everyone's happy.
That's it. No, we're done.
Easy.
Well,
thank you. Thank you as always, Tim.
Of course, you're welcome.
You're so good at this. There was a couple times in there where you and I, of course, over a history of our friendship, have many stories and inside jokes, and it's like we could take detours to explain why gondoliering is fun for us, or why a snuff box is significant. But I'll just leave it to the listener to know, to try and guess where the references to stories of yore are. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
Yeah.
We'll have to see we'll have to see if Muffy survives this trip to the Silent Fortune with Yak Tavish.
Hopefully Yak too. I like Yak. He's a nice guy.
Oh gosh, I like Yak too.
He's a good guy. Well, awesome. Well, I guess we'll see you for episode 3. I'm hoping at some point to see some fan art of Muffy wearing pink goggles and floaties. Eventually, is my hope.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for listening, oh listener. And until the next episode of My Trans Best Friend, stay lovely.